Very good morning, dear students. So we'll be discussing the uh, MCQs of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay. So under this topic, so some of the subtopics we'll be having. So pre-fertilization structures and events. The first topic of that is structure of a flower. So analyze the statements given below. Several hormonal and structural changes lead to the differentiation and further development of the floral primordium. Inflorescences are formed which bear the floral buds and then the flowers. Okay. In the flower, the male and female reproductive structures, the androecium and gynoecium, differentiate and develop. So you have to find out which is correct. Okay. So the right statement for this is what you have to find out. Can you find the answer for this particular question? See, several hormonal and structural changes lead to differentiation. This is the right statement. Inflorescences are formed which bear the floral buds and then the flowers. This is also correct statement. In the flower, the male and female reproductive structures, the androecium and gynoecium, differentiate and develop. That is also correct. So all these statements P, Q, and R are correct. Okay, all these statements are correct. So a diagrammatic representation of LS of a flower is shown. Label the parts. So you should label the part of it. So there is A. A is filament, isn't it? So B is going to be the corolla or petal. So B is petal. So A is filament, B is petal, C is anther, D is stigma. Okay. E is style, F is disc, G is ovary, H is ovule, I is sepals. So F is disc, G is, so the answer for this is B is the correct answer. So second one, B is the correct answer. So the labelings are appropriate in B. A typical stamen and three-dimensional cut section of an anther is given. So label the parts. So we are expected to label these parts of it. A typical stamen and three-dimensional cut section of an anther is given. So label the parts. So first one is, so anther. Fifth one is filament is correct. Okay, second one is pollen sac. Second one is pollen grain probably. Third one is pollen sacs. So fourth one is line of dehiscence. Okay, first one is anther. Second one is the pollen grain. Third one is pollen sac. Fourth one is line of dehiscence. Fifth is filament. So this, the second option is having the correct option here. So second one is the right option. See, all these are from your NCERT books. So very easily you can uh, answer these. Okay. The next set of questions. So the fourth question. A typical angiosperm anther is single-lobed and monothecous, single-lobed and dithecous, bilobed and dithecous. So the answer is bilobed and dithecous. A typical angiosperm anther is bilobed and dithecous. Okay, so that is the correct form of it. So the correct answer is bilobed and bithecous. Correct sequence of layers of anther from outer to inner. So epidermis, tapetum is wrong. Epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, tapetum. C is the correct one for fifth. The C option is the correct one. Okay. Sixth one, select the true statement regarding tapetum. The innermost wall layer, tapetum, it is a nourishing tissue. Cells possess dense cytoplasm. Cells are generally having more than one nucleus. Cells are wedge shaped. So we have to identify the true statement regarding tapetum. So innermost wall layer, it is a nourishing tissue. Yes, it is correct. Cells possess dense cytoplasm. Cells are generally having more than one nucleus. Cells are wedge shaped. Okay. So of these options, which are the correct one? Anyone would like to answer for this? See, all these are correct. Innermost wall layer is correct. It is a nourishing tissue is correct. Cells possess dense cytoplasm. That is also correct statement. Cells are generally having more than one nucleus. That is also correct. Cells are wedge shaped. Okay. So all these options are correct. Okay. Seventh one, microsporogenesis means, so this should be easy for you to define. So formation of microspores from pollen mother cell through mitosis, formation of microspores from primary endosperm cell through meiosis. So both A and B are wrong. Formation of microspores from pollen mother cells through meiosis. C is the correct option. So microsporogenesis is formation of microspores from pollen mother cell through meiosis. Okay, so that is the correct option. Next one, male gametophyte in angiosperm starts with microspore mother cell, pollen grain, gamete, microspore tetrad. So where does the male gametophyte in an angiosperm starts with? Okay, so is it A, microspore mother cell? Is it pollen grain? Or is it gamete or microspore tetrad? So male gametophyte in angiosperm starts with pollen grain. So B is the correct option. So enlarged view of one microsporangium with wall layers are shown. Identify the layers. So the first layer will be epidermis, second layer will be the endothelium, third layer will be the middle layers, fourth would be the sporogenous tissue, fifth would be tapetum. Okay, that option. So with that options will be correct. So first is epidermis, second is endothelium, third is middle layers, fourth is porogenous tissue, fifth is tapetum. So they have not given it as porogenous tissue. It is megaspore mother cell. Fourth is megaspore mother cell. Fifth is tapetum. So C option is correct for ninth question. Ninth. So epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, the microspore mother cell, and tapetum. So the B option is correct, not C. B option is correct. First layer, second layer, third layer, then innermost microspore mother cell. The fourth layer is the tapetum. So these are all the correct option. So B is the correct option. Regarding pollen grains, male gametophyte, generally bilobed in shape, so size may be 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. Its outer covering is made up of pectin. Exine has germ pores where sporopollenin is absent. Okay, so fourth statement is correct. Generally bilobed in shape is wrong. Size may be 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. This is also correct. Its outer covering is made up of pectin is wrong. So second and fourth are correct statement. So the answer is going to be the A. For 10th, the answer is A. 11th one, intine is made up of. So intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Okay. So innermost layer is made up of cellulose and pectin. So the exine is made up of sporopollenin. Okay. So the B option for 11th is correct. So 11th B option is correct. So the 12th one of the statements given below is not suitable for sporopollenin. Select it. So which is the statement given below is not suitable for sporopollenin means it is not applicable. So wrong statement you have to identify, select it. Exine is made up of this organic material. that is sporopolanin. It can withstand high temperature, strong acids and alkali, that is also correct. Pollen grains are preserved as fossils due to the presence of sporopolanin, that is also correct. It is easily degraded by most of the enzymes, this is the wrong statement. Okay, sporopolanin is not degraded by most of the enzymes, so it is not suitable. So D is not suitable for sporopolanin. So 12th one, D is the answer. So 13th one, the vegetative cell of pollen grain is smaller than generative cell, having abundant food reserve, spindle shaped with dense cytoplasm with a small spherical nucleus. It is having abundant food reserve. So 13th B is the correct answer. 14th one, read the following statements regarding pollen grains. They are rich in nutrients. Pollen grains of many species such as Parthenium or carrot grass cause severe allergies, often leads to chronic respiratory disorders. Okay. Uh, it is better to use immediately because they cannot be stored for future purpose. So pollen tablets and syrups are used to increase performance and of athletes and race horses. See, four statement one, two, and four are correct statements. Okay. So third statement is wrong. So one, two, and four are correct statements. So D is the answer. 15th one, viability of pollen grains of some cereals such as rice, wheat, etc. is 30 minutes, 24 to 48 hours, several months. So 1 to 2 years. 30 minutes is the viability of pollen grains of cereals like wheat, rice. Okay. So diagrammatic view of a typical ovule is shown. See, B is nothing but the funicle, C is micropyle, D is the nucellus, E is the integument, outer integument, F is inner integument, H is embryo sac, G is nucellus, I is chalaza. So whichever is this correct labeling, as I said, so they are going to be the correct option. So the hilum, A is hilum, uh, B is the micropyle. So B option, A is hilum, B is funicle, C is micropyle. So B option is correct. D is micropylar pole, E is outer integument, F is inner integument, G is nucellus, H is embryo sac, I is chalazal pole. So B is the correct option. 17th one, match the following. Single pistil. So we call it as monocarpellary, isn't it? So single pistil, one is E. Fused pistil, syncarpus, EF. Okay. Third one, stigma, landing platform. Third one is A. Okay, B and C are having almost all options are right. Fourth one, ovarian cavity, locule. So B is the correct option. Megasporangium is ovule. Protective envelope is integument. So B option is correct. So this option is correct. Well, 60% angiosperms shed their pollen grains at two-cell stage. So over 60% angiosperms, they are going to shed their pollen grains at two-celled stage. Structure of the mature embryo sac is given below. So label the parts. So A is antipodals, B is polar nuclei, C is central cell, D is egg cell, E is synergids, F is filiform apparatus. So if you have the same option, so A is going to be antipodal cells, B is polar nuclei, C is central cell, D is egg cell, E is synergids. So B option is correct. It has all the labelings correctly marked here. Okay. So these are questions that you can get directly from your uh, NCERT syllabus, and you should be prepared for the diagram oriented question also. So odd one out based on number of ovules, megasporangia presentis. So based on number of ovules or megasporangia present, so which is the odd one out? So wheat, paddy, papaya. See, papaya is the odd one out because it has large number of ovules. They have large number of seeds, whereas wheat, paddy, mango, they have single ovule in a single ovary. Papaya has many ovules in a single ovary. So the odd one out is papaya. So 21st, a typical embryo, angiosperm embryo sac at maturity has 7-celled, 8 nucleate. Okay, C is the correct answer, 7-celled, 8 nucleate. So the megaspore mother cell MMC undergoes uh, meiosis to produce 4 megaspores. So megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to produce 4 mother cells. So 22D is the answer. 23rd, in majority of flowering plants, one megaspore is functional while the other three degenerates. Two megaspores are functional while the other two degenerates. Three megaspores are functional while the one degenerates. All megaspores are functional. So in majority of flowering plants, one megaspore is functional while the other three degenerate. So this is the answer. 23rd, the answer is A. So 24th, select the false statement regarding cleistogamous flower. See, there are chasmogamous flowers which bloom, cleistogamous flowers which do not bloom. So you should know about that. They do not open at all, and anthers and stigma lie close to each other. This is a correct statement. When anthers dehisce in the floral buds, pollen grains meet stigma for pollination. This is also correct. Cleistogamous flowers produce assured seed set even in the absence of pollinators. That is also correct statement. Cleistogamy can prevent inbreeding depression. This is the wrong statement. Cleistogamy rather undergoes inbreeding depression. So D is the wrong statement. Okay. So of the four statements, D is the wrong statements. So which of the following set of plants can produce both chasmogamous and cleistogamous flower? So they are producing both. Commelina, oxalis also does it. Okay, so let us look into the viola, oxalis, and commelina. They can produce both chasmogamous flowers and cleistogamous flowers. So viola, oxalis, and commelina, all three of them can produce both chasmogamous and cleistogamous flowers. So the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. See, transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of another flower of the same plant is called autogamy, isn't it? So transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower. So it is not autogamy, it is geitonogamy. Within the same flower, it is autogamy. Another flower of the same plant, it is geitonogamy. So functionally it is cross pollination, but morphologically it is, but genetically it is autogamy. So geitonogamy is the answer, 26th. So the more common abiotic pollination is anemophily. Wind pollination is more common abiotic pollination. Hydrophily is water pollination, but lesser. Chiropterophily is bat pollination. Entomophily is insect pollination. In water hyacinth and water lily, pollination takes place by. So in water hyacinth and water lily, pollination takes place by entomophily and anemophily. Okay, so it takes place by entomophily and anemophily. They are above water and colorful flowers. So they either they are pollinated by wind, or some of the flowers, and some of them are pollinated by insects. So B is the correct answer for the 28th question. So B is the correct answer. So 29th, the need to produce enormous amount of pollen when compared to number of ovules available for pollination. What is the need to produce enormous amount of pollen when compared to number of ovule available for pollination to protect young pollens, to attract insect, to compensate for the uncertainties and loss of pollen grain. So C is the correct answer. So they produce enormous amount of pollen even though number of ovule available for pollination is less. It is to compensate for the uncertainties. So C is the correct answer and loss of pollen grain. So pollination by water is, that is hydrophily, is limited to, pollination by water is hydrophily is limited to about 30 genera. Okay, mostly monocotyledons. So A is the correct one. About 30 genera, mostly monocotyledons. Most common type of agents of pollination are, so most common type of agents of pollination are insects and is called ornithophily, birds and is called ornithophily, birds and is called entomophily. Insects, most common type of agents of pollination are insects and is called entomophily. 31st D is the correct answer. 32nd, pollen tube enters the ovule through the micropyle and then enters one of the synergids through. See, pollen tube enters the ovule through the micropyle, okay, and then enters one of the synergids through filiform apparatus. So the filiform apparatus guides them, guides the growth of pollen tube. Okay, so 32 is C is the answer. 33rd, so A is pollen tube. So B is antipodal cells. See, A is pollen tube, B is antipodal. So only two of them are showing the correct options, A and B. Okay. C is polar nuclei, correct one. D, D is X cells. D should be X cell, and E are synergids. So B is the correct option here. Okay, you should observe it minutely. So D is X cell and E is synergids. Okay, so B is the correct option for the 33rd question. So next one, so this option is correct. Which of the following is not the fixture of insect pollinated flowers? So insect pollinated flowers which are not the feature. Large, colorful, fragrant and rich in nectar, that is there. Small flowers form inflorescence to make them visible, that is also correct. The flowers pollinated by flies and beetles secrete foul odor to attract these animals, that is also correct. The pollen grains are generally non-sticky is the incorrect statement. So the pollen grains are non-sticky. So this is not the feature of the insect pollinated flowers. They are rather sticky. Okay, so D is the wrong option there. A moth species, Tegeticula species, deposits its egg in the locule of ovary of yucca plant. The locule of ovary of yucca plant. This is also one of the reward mechanism where the insects can lay eggs within the locule of the ovary. Yucca is the example for it. So 35th A is the correct option. 36th, which one of the following is not included in avoiding synchronization, arrangement of anther and stigma at different position, self-incompatibility, production of bisexual flowers is not included in outbreeding devices. It should be production of unisexual flowers as one of the outbreeding devices. So D is the wrong option. So 36, D is the wrong option. 37, removal of anthers from the bisexual flower bud and flower bud to form female parent before the anther dehisces is called. So removal of anthers from the bisexual flower bud uh, to form female parent before the anther dehisces is called emasculation. Okay, so that is the definition of it. So which of the following is an exclusive feature of angiosperms? Double fertilization and pollination, triple fusion and haploid endosperm and pollination, triploid endosperm and double fertilization. So D is the correct option for this. Triploid endosperm and double fertilization is unique and exclusive to angiosperms. So 38th answer is D. The central cell after triple fusion becomes primary endosperm cell. The central cell after triple fusion becomes primary endosperm cell. After double fertilization, a mature ovule would have one diploid and one haploid cells, one diploid and one triploid cells, two haploid and one triploid cells, one haploid and one. So B is the correct. After double fertilization, a mature ovule would have a diploid zygote and triploid primary endosperm cell, one diploid and one triploid cells. So B is the correct option for 40th question. So B is the correct option. 41st, primary endosperm nucleus is formed by the fusion of two polar nuclei plus one synergid cell nucleus. It is wrong. One polar nuclei plus one antipodal cell plus one synergid. It is wrong. Two polar nuclei and one male gamete nucleus. So together they are going to form the primary endosperm nucleus. So the triple fusion. So that is what they are talking about here. Two polar nuclei plus one male gamete nucleus. So 41st, C is the correct answer. Liquid endosperm is present in coconut. Okay. So the liquid endosperm is present in coconut. Endosperm becomes cellular due to the formation of cell wall. So endosperm becomes cellular due to the formation of cell wall. Select the false statement. In angiosperms, embryo develops at micropylar end of the embryo sac. Most zygote divides only after the formation of some endosperm. So cotyledons of grass family is called scutellum. In monocots and dicots, embryogeny and seeds differ greatly. So we have to identify the false statement. In angiosperms, embryo develops at micropylar end of the embryo sac. That is correct. Most zygotes divide only after the formation of some endosperm. Absolutely correct. Cotyledon of grass family is called scutellum. That is also correct. In monocots and dicots, embryogeny and seeds differ greatly. So embryogeny and seeds differ greatly. So the false statement for 46th is D. So they do not differ so much. So they differ greatly is wrong. So minor differences are there. So D is the false statement. In monocots and dicots, embryogeny and seeds differ greatly. That is wrong. Almost it is similar except for the presence of one cotyledon, two cotyledons. The correct sequence of embryonic development in angiosperms is zygote, proembryo, globular, heart-shaped, mature embryo. Zygote, globular, proembryo, heart-shaped. So this is more appropriate. 47th, A is the correct sequence of the development of embryo. Zygote, proembryo, globular, heart-shaped, and mature embryo. LS of grass embryo monocot is given. So label A to G. So we have to label this. A is scutellum, B is the coleoptile, it should be. Okay. C is shoot apex. A is scutellum, so there is D. B is coleoptile. So D option is the correct option. D is epiblast. E is radical. F is root cap. G is coleorhiza. So this is the correct labeling that we should follow. Okay. So there are these questions which we have not covered. Let me also complete this. If the cells of the nucellus in the angiosperm ovule contain 24 chromosomes, what will be the number of chromosomes in the endosperm of a self-pollinated flower? Cells of nucellus in the angiosperm contain 24 chromosomes. Number of chromosomes in the endosperm of a self-pollinated flower. So it is triploid. So nucellus is diploid. So it would be 36 is the answer. So 36 is the answer for this particular cells of a nucellus which has 24 chromosomes. So endosperm is triploid, nucellus is diploid, haploid would be 12. So triploid is 12 into 3, 36. So 36 chromosomes are present in the endosperm of a self-pollinated flower. Whether it is self-pollinated or cross-pollinated, endosperm would be triploid. Given below is the structure of fertilized embryo. Label A to E. So A is degenerating synergids. B is the fertilized egg, that is the zygote. C is the primary endosperm cell. D is primary endosperm nucleus. Degenerating antipodals. So A is degenerating synergids. B is zygote. C is primary endosperm cell. D is primary endosperm nucleus. So the first option itself is correct for this question. Okay. So 43rd, first option itself is correct. So that is the correct labeling. So seed from ovule in angiosperm. Dash is the final product of sexual reproduction. Which is the final product of sexual reproduction in angiosperm? Fruit, flower, seed, endosperm. Okay, in angiosperm, the seed is the final product of sexual reproduction. Okay, so 49th, the answer is C. That is, seed is the final product of sexual reproduction. Even fruit is a final product, but it does not help in continuity of the progeny. Seed helps in continuity of the progeny, and it is the first final product of sexual reproduction is formation of seeds. So after fertilization, the ovary wall develops to form fruit, but they do not undergo any sexual reproduction. Ovary, it is only in the ovule that sexual reproduction is taking place. So seed is the final product of sexual reproduction. See, examples of plants with non-albuminous or ex-albuminous seeds are, so which do not have any endosperm. So the pulses, I told you about all of them. Pea, groundnut, and beans, they do not have endosperm. So 50th, first one is the correct answer. So the pulses or cereals do not have any endosperm. So they are examples of it. Whereas the cereals have endosperm. They are albuminous or endospermous seeds. Occasionally in some seeds such as black pepper, beets, remnants of nucellus are also persistent. This residual persistent nucellus is called perisperm. Okay, residual persistent nucellus is called as perisperm. B is the answer. The inability of a seed to germinate can be called as dormancy. The inability the of a seed to germinate can be called as dormancy. So A is the answer. There are several records of very old yet viable seeds. The oldest is that of the Lupinus articus, Arctic tundra. Uh, the oldest is that of Lupinus articus, excavated from Arctic tundra. The seed germinated and flowered after an estimated record of 10,000 years of dormancy. So C is the correct one. A recent record of dash world viable seal is obtained from date palm. Okay, scientifically called as dash, discovered during the Phoenix dactylifera, 2000 years Phoenix dactylifera. Okay, so 54th, B is the correct answer. 55th, structure of a typical monocot seed is given below. Observe this and select the false statement. So A is going to be the pericarp. Okay. B is the endosperm. So D is going to be the coleoptile. E is going to be the plumule. F is so uh, F would be the radical. So structure of a typical monocot seed is given. Observe this and select the false statement. G is radical and becomes a root tip. B is endosperm and it is an albuminous seed. Or C, D is coleoptile and it is a hollow style. Hollow foliar structures. C is scutellum and it is the cotyledon of monocot. So the false statement we have to identify in this question, that is 55th, isn't it? So G is radical and it becomes root tip. That is wrong. Okay. So the F part is the radical part of it, protected by. So G is the not a radical and it doesn't become the root tip. Okay. So G is the coleorhiza. So G is the uh, false statement. After fertilization, pericarp is derived from walls of ovary. Pericarp is derived or fruit wall is derived from walls of ovary. The fruits which develop from the region other than ovary is called pericarp, pseudocarp, mesocarp, endocarp. So the fruits which develop from the region other than the ovary is called pseudocarp. Okay, so B is the answer for 57th. So false fruit it is, and we call it as pseudocarp. Examples for plants with pseudocarp are apple, coconut, guava. Apple, strawberry, cashew is an example for pseudocarp. In apple, coconut and guava are true fruits. Apple is a false fruit. Coconut, mango are true fruits. Cashew is a false fruit. Only in C, all three are false fruits. Yeah, apple is a false fruit formed from thalamus. Strawberry, we are eating the inflorescence axis. So the fruits are the white dots that I told you, achenes. Cashew, we are the edible part is the uh, thalamus or receptacle, and the seed is covered by a hard fruit wall. That is why the fruit we call it as, and it is indehiscent, we call it as nut. So apple, strawberry, and cashew is examples for false fruit. Development of fruits without fertilization is called parthenocarpy. So A is the answer, parthenocarpy. A few flowering plants, such as some species of Asteraceae and grasses, have evolved a special mechanism to produce seeds without fertilization, referred to as apomixis. So we call this formation of seeds without fertilization as apomixis. Occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed is referred to as polyembryony and is commonly seen in citrus and mangifera, mango. So these are the examples. 61B is the part of it. Polyembryony we call it as, and it is commonly seen in citrus and mangifera, that is citrus fruits and mango. In case of polyembryony in citrus and mango, uh, which cells undergo division to form embryos? So the nucellar cells undergo division and protrude within the embryo sac to form the embryos. So 62nd, the right answer is nucellar cells. A is the correct answer for it. Okay. Fine, dear students. So we have ended up with today's session of it. If